dressed up as a girl. Just kidding, I'm not a girl. Everybody does that, that's trans, and that's fine. Whoa, did Finn just describe what a woman is? Boobs, probably a girl. Showing off cleavage and everything, probably a girl. It's all about the characteristic, where people can be like, oh, your basket is full of female characteristics. Girl. If you want to pretend to have a wiener in your pants, go for it. I don't care. A lot of the non-binary cis women that go to non-binary, but then people are like, oh, maybe trans women vibes. I'm like, no! Guys, we need to have a conversation, one-on-one. You guys already got me triggered, so we're gonna talk about it, okay? Whenever somebody real says something that's real, they're just gonna say what it is in the most blunt way as possible. They're gonna say what it is as they see it. And we need more of that. You feel me? We need people just to call it as it is instead of like pussyfooting around. Instead of like not addressing whatever they want to talk about or whatever it might be, for example. Because the thing that I want to talk about, on Twitter, there was like cis women that pretended to have a wiener. So they put a toy in their pants. And a lot of people were upset by that. They were selling OnlyFans stuff. There was 2 girls with toys in their pants. And there were cis women pretending to be trans for OnlyFans. Exactly, who cares? I'm getting to that. If you're advertising porn and you're gonna pretend to have a wiener, who cares, right? W cocks for women, am I right? Because in porn, you roleplay. And a lot of people got upset by that post. If it's for porn, who cares? Because in porn, you pretend to be a lifeguard sometimes. Sometimes you'll be in your bathtub and Lisa Ann comes over and she'll be like, guys, watch out for the shark. Sex. So if it's porn, I don't care. Does that make sense? It's just weird and uncomfortable that they're gonna be walking around with like a toy that makes it look like they're erect. And they're wearing like yoga pants, you know? Because that's not normal. You're not erect with yoga pants. I mean, if you are, no one wants to see it. Does that make sense? And if they were selling OnlyFans in the context of corn, who cares? Because like all the ridiculous stuff is gonna happen in corn, and corn's just like film. It's just silly. It's just supposed to be like entertainment. It's not supposed to be taken that seriously. And a lot of people are being like, they should not do that because they're role-playing minorities and those minorities went through a lot of trouble. It's like, are you saying that you want them to go through a lot of pain and suffering before they're allowed to do that? Is it like, are they not allowed to do that because it's not their culture? I enjoy sushi. I'm not Asian. You guys think I am sometimes. I'm gonna eat all the sushi that I freaking want. You guys love Mexican food. Go for it. Have all the Mexican food. I don't want it. You can have it all. She finally confirmed it. She isn't Asian. I think with that controversy of that pic, since it was only like pornography, who cares? Who the frick cares? And it's not about role-playing a minority. That's not what it's about at all. I would see it if it's bad. The only a couple ways to do it in a bad way. Like if you were to do it in a bad way, is like if you're doing like blackface where you pretend to be of a different thing and then you like show off like really bad characteristics of it, then it's bad. That would be terrible. But in this case, it's 2 hot women, toys in their pants, and it's clearly toys in their pants saying that they're pretending to be trans by saying, I am trans. That's whatever. Because it's like, they're selling porn. Does it bother you that like cis women are yoinking your my caliente? I don't care. If you want to pretend to have a wiener, go for it. I don't care, especially if it's like an advertisement on Twitter for corn. I don't care. Nobody should care. But if you're out in public with like an erect, hard toy in your pants, that's weird. Some cis women will have toys in their pants, but they're not toys. They're called prosthetics. It'll be people that are questioning whether this is a transition from female to male, so they will have something called packers inside their pants. But instead of it being like a toy, it's more of a prosthetic, and it's more of a soft version of it, you know what I mean? And that's only there to help the person, because it's a prosthetic, and like fill out the clothes a little bit without making it super noticeable. Does that make sense? Packers is completely different from what these people are doing, because you're not going to be wearing a freaking toy in your pants that looks like you're 100% out there. You know what I mean? That's just weird. If you're a cis woman and you want to pretend to have a wiener, W. You deserve that cock. Especially if you're selling prawn, go for it. I don't care. But if you're showing it off to the world like in an actual public setting, I know Twitter's public, but I'm telling you, like, if you're going outside and you see like somebody being indecent, I'm gonna be like, no. Nah. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay. You're just gonna be a weirdo. And the cool thing is, I live in America, and luckily we have the right to do like whatever the frick we want, and it's none of anyone's business, you know? If you want to have all the pronouns and all the disabilities in your bio, you're allowed to do that. Go for it. If you want to be a furry, go for it. You have the right to do whatever the fuck you want. Go ahead and do it. And I'm glad we live in a country where you can do whatever you want like that. It's not hurting anybody. Like, if you want to be a furry, go for it. It's none of my business. That's the main thing. None of my business. I don't care. I'm gonna stay out of it. But if you're gonna do like a blackface version where you're like purposely showing off like characteristics in a bad light and making it look bad, then we have a problem. Then that's the issue. I bet like on Twitter, you can probably find like cis women pretending to be trans, and they're probably gonna do like really awful impressions and everything. Yeah, that's gonna be terrible. But if you're a cis woman and you wanna pretend to have a cock, and that's it, who cares? You can have your cock. You can have it. You can have the full thing. I don't want it. You can have it. It's none of my business, and we can live our lives. Luckily, we live in a place and time where if you want to express yourself in a certain way, you're allowed to, as long as you're not infringing on somebody else's rights. That's my take on it. I haven't heard anybody else's take. Well, no, I heard a Spicy Cow. Spicy Cow didn't want to talk about it, even though he was hinting at what it was, but he didn't know how to explain what it was. There's probably... The one picture that I'm referring to is the one with just two cis women side by side with toys in their pants. That's the one I'm referring to. There's probably other pictures, but I want to be specific on what I'm saying is allowed, because there's probably pictures of people pretending to be trans when they're not trans, because they're going to be like, look how goofy this is. And they're like doing it in the worst way possible. That stuff, bad. Pretending to have a wiener, cool. W wiener. Finn did the video, did a thing on the... Okay, let's watch the video. Let's watch Finn's video. Let's see what he has to say.
Look at what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. Recently, there's been this trend on the health platform formerly known as Twitter, where cis women are saying that they're trans women, allegedly, and getting extremely well paid while doing it. Now, okay, this is fascinating to me because I've had my own controversy on Twitter for also pretending to be a trans woman, appropriating trans womanhood. But wait, how can you even fake being trans? Isn't it just a feeling? What even is a woman? No, we are not doing that.
Please, let's do it! Don't be a pussy! Please! Let's get it! That's the good conversation. It is not that hard. If you're not gonna talk about it, if you're not gonna define it, then all the assholes will talk about it, and they're gonna be the ones to define it.
Survive?
If you don't talk about it, if you don't want to take control, if you don't want to do anything about it, the other people you hate are the ones that are gonna be dictating on what it is. So if you keep your mouth shut on that, you're a stupid freaking idiot.
Holy shit, I am not being this type of channel. God, Christ, Okay, why would anyone even do this? This seems silly, right? In all fairness, it seems like everyone wants to start
Battle Pass
these days. I mean, Markiplier did it, but imagine if he had honkers.
Now that's quality content.
Okay.
I stand by this and whatever this is.
That's what I thought. But it's hard to start an OF career, like, for anyone. And it really helps if people already know you. Look at these mainstream celebrities and, like, what they did when they started an
Battle Pass.
Bella Thorne on her own broke the entire fucking platform. She's like the PewDiePie of my world. Cis women do have the biggest potential audience. Most of the user base are guys, and most guys like cis girls. Apart from my audience. They love Some people like Amaranth or Belle Delphine can make millions every single month. It's insane. Everyone saw that tweet and
Guys, did you know if you're a celebrity and you make an OnlyFans, you will make a lot of money? That's crazy.
I need to make one right now, including me. That's the case for less than like 1 in 20 million people. I think that's how many creators there are on OF. So if you're not a content creator or a celebrity, you're not known on the internet, what do? You can try and compete with 20 million other people, or you can find a niche. And what's a popular niche right now? Trans porn is actually trending. It's becoming one of, or in Texas's case, the most popular category. According to the Hub, research purposes. It's become a massive category, and universally, trans people love that fact. That was a lie. They do not like it. A big problem you'll hear trans women talking about a lot is fetishization. Did I say that right? Fetishization. Christ, that's a shitty word. We're gonna have to bleep that anyway, aren't we? So when I started making cross-dressing and femboy content on OF, it sparked a little bit of controversy. I get it. I've actually probably done a little bit of real harm to the trans community by adding popularity to the whole like, oh my god, it's actually a boy meme. Play the clip.
I didn't know the Knights had hot cat girls too.
Actually, I'm a boy.
No, you're fucking not.
No, really, I'm
I
a...
said, no, you're fucking not.
I still think about that a lot, but this isn't the right video to apologize and unpack all guilt. Also, holy sh**.
Yeah, there's a weird thing where it's like, I'm actually a boy kind of thing that is kind of like, oh, but like you're a trans woman and then saying that you're a boy. Sounds familiar? Like it can be done playfully, but when you're 100% being like, yeah, I'm a boy, and you're like boing, 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 like you got boobs and everything, you're on HRT and you're like, I'm a boy. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
I
That's
never
bad.
pretended to be something I'm not. And that brings us to our protagonists of this story. Cis women with fake peepees in their trousers. There are actually way more accounts like this than I thought, and I just found another one a second ago. Did I just find a fucking another one? Oh my god, I did. Jesus Christ. You might be able to spot the reason why people have a problem with them fairly quickly if you start reading the bios. Professional woman. Oh my fucking god, the banner. Okay. Is this damage control or is it?
That's not even that bad. Right now, putting woman in quotes is bad, but who cares? And this, the banners and equality, who cares?
Fucking just for funny. Used to look manlier, but still a dude. I collab with other transgenders. Oh no!
That's not even that bad to say that I used to look manlier. So you're saying that used to look manlier means that you don't look manly now. Does that make sense? I don't think that's that bad, right? I used to look manlier, and I can put that, and it's not a big deal.
But still a dude. I collab with other transgenders. Oh no! Sorry, I don't know what that emoji would be. 2005.
That's not even that bad. 2005 girly with a special weapon? That's like every trans person has used this. Like, oh, I'm not just any girl. That's not that bad.
Girly with a special weapon. Come find out. Oh, I'm fucking gonna. I'm so manly and probably bigger than you. God damn it. The weird dude from high school
weird.
is now a girl. You already know. I do
weird.
stuff with...
Like, it's not bad. It's just weird. Does that make sense? I don't think it's harming anybody, what they're saying. It's just cringy and weird.
Other transgenders. Now, okay, to be fair, one of them stole my bio. I don't know if I should be more or less mad. But look, most popular woman, male of all time. There's one slight difference between that though. I am gender fluid. I am not a trans woman, and I would not make that joke if I was. Also, I made both of the jokes in my bio. Her pronouns are he, him. Way back in the day, it's kind of a legacy thing from being a femboy. I also have the URL, gigachad.gg. It's because I'm gender fluid and not a woman.
Every single trans person has done this for content. Not every single trans person, but people that are making like trans content has done this, including Finn. Like with the Omegle videos by being like, I'm dressed up as a girl. Just kidding, I'm not a girl kind of thing. And I think like a lot of trans people that advertise their own porn will make jokes about having a wiener or something along the lines of their transition about how they used to be a guy or something. Everybody does that, that's trans, and that's fine. I think it's fine to normalize joking about that, right? Yeah, Vlad, it's fine. As long as people know it's entertainment or it's a joke or whatever. As long as they're not actually doing this to like cause harm, because they're not. They're just kind of doing it for entertainment.
Point where their first tweet's hitting like 40,000 likes sometimes. Millions of views. First time posting. Or when you go through
First of all, with Twitter thing, 60% of Twitter is botted. There's an agency, allegedly, they want to say this on their word, so I don't want to say their name. They sell advertisement spaces, and they also sell advertisement spaces to like Twitter accounts or whatever. And they want to make sure they're selling legit spaces. Like if you buy an ad for them, that is going to go out to real people. And then if they do like a Twitter ad with someone, they have to know how valuable their ad is so they can put a price to it. And they estimate that Twitter's like 60% bots. So when everybody tries to flex anything on Twitter, take 60% away from it. Or maybe it's more, depending on who it is. Because lots of people will bot their accounts or whatever
following list, you start to realize that they follow people that haven't tweeted in years. It is so strange. Joined May 2014, but their first post was last month, which is confusing, but not really.
Yeah, Twitter has a problem
These
with bots.
accounts are going to get mass reported. They also want a really early kickstart. So what people do is they buy old creator accounts or just Twitter accounts that have a lot of followers or higher engagement, delete all their posts, remake it, sometimes unfollow people, sometimes not, which why a lot of these is why they have 0 following, and they rinse and repeat. I'm talking like each person might have 10 separate accounts with different names that all go back to the same place or different places. It's all the same person though. They're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, they're everywhere. But whatever, that's the same case for like every bot account on Twitter. But the other reason why they have so many accounts is way funnier to me. They keep getting community noted on Twitter. One of their posts have gone a little bit viral and
So right now, it seems like Finn is just trying to show you that a lot of these accounts are just bots. They're not real. A lot of these bots are clearly just here to farm engagement, to make people, to either like get them to like subscribe to something else or something like that, you know? 3 minutes to say that.
now been taken down, but before it went down, readers added context they thought people might want to know.
Yeah.
These two are cisgender women. They are not transgender. This is part of a grift to make money off of the trans community. Notably, both of the caption of this tweet and the account's bio play into transphobic caricatures of trans women as being feminine boys. Holy shit. Thank you, Twitter. Where's the Google award for like the
Yeah,
first
this
time
stuff is bad. We don't like that.
something's ever been said? I'll take that now. In fact, is the account gone? Oh no, it's just new now. Wait, no, what the fuck? They changed the whole fucking account. Holy shit, I just realized this is a fucking new account I haven't even seen before, but it's the same motherfucker. I have found 6 different accounts of this one person so far. Oh my fucking god, they changed their pronouns to
This video is more about how Twitter's
so
bad.
they wouldn't get like yelled at.
Twitter's 60% fake. 60% fake. Yeah, everything you see on Twitter will be fake and then recycled content over and over and over and over. We get it.
That's so funny. Shee. I'm like totally a dude and manly and stuff. I love to collab with other trans flags. You wanna check out my dick, by the way? Wait. This video got on way too long without me saying this. How do I even know that they're cis women? They could be trans. Community note aside, it's a community note. No one's got their birth certificate to hand. How do we even know? There is, as far as I'm aware, 0 actual proof that these are cis women and not trans women. Why am I even making this video? These are all allegations. Well, I spoke to one of them. I'm in an interesting position where technically I'm the biggest femboy account that exists. These girls themselves, or most likely their management agency, know who I am. So when I paid money to subscribe to them on OF, I had a nice little chat. I'm gonna show you that chat. So I asked for some pointers on
The
how
chat is going to be botted as well. A lot of people are doing AI chat, which is really annoying. A lot of people can't tell. And then other people are paying chatters. So you'll have like, you know how like there's like scam callers? Where there's like a giant center of like people like faking calls. Picture that, but with like OnlyFans messages. Not exactly like that, but you will have people that'll like talk on behalf of someone. For me, I do all of my shit on my own. And people get mad because I don't reply to them every hour of every instance, and it's crazy. It's like, I'm trying to live my life and also communicate with you guys when I can. But then other people realize that there's a market, like, oh, I'll just get an AI chatbot to chat with them. For me, it's actually me. All the other people, it's gonna be someone completely different.
Okay, I gotta know. I saw through Twitter, everyone's going nuts because you're a cis girl. How come you haven't said anything yet? I mean, every publicity is good, right? Ha 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 ha. No! Because all of those people come here to see it, and I just show it for money, you know?
Unless this is a real person just admitting to it, which is weird. Why would you just admit to it just like that? Are they stupid? If you're scamming people and somebody messages you that, oh, are you scamming people? And they're like, yes, I am. Ha ha ha. What? Unless it's the bot admitting, like, what?
Oh, I said very fair. I got back in the day. So it's kind of a win-win for me either way. What a bitch. Listen,
like
I'm
an
sure
actual
that's
person.
not actually the girl talking to me. I'm nearly certain that's just some
That's
dude
what I'm
on the other
thinking
side of
too.
the world. It would be
But
insane.
why would they admit to it? That doesn't make sense. I think if it's an actual worker, I don't think they would admit to it. But if it's like the model itself, she's admitting to it. It doesn't make sense for somebody else to admit to it.
to run the amount of accounts they do. Also, how I got to that point in the conversation, we shouldn't talk about. Just FYI, when people do subscribe, you don't see it. You know, the reason why I had to say that was there's a bunch of posts on the page and they say, hit me up if you want to see it unblurred. So you're paying for blurred photos and then you get no word of a lie. You get sent a $30 pay-per-view for 3 photos? $30?
I'm gonna say it. A lot of creators do this. I don't, but I think this person does it. Maybe not with 3 pictures, but with other content. So I feel like it's a little bit hypocritical, I think. And that's okay if you want to do it. That's fine. I'm a person that buys porn, and I'd rather not pay more than what it is.
I gotta charge so much more money. What the fuck? They're getting paid so much. What? Oh!
My version of this is an early access. When you sub, you get everything. But if I make something I really like, I'm gonna have an early access fee to it. But I'll say you will have access to this, or it'll be on my page later on. But you can view it now for a price. Well, meanwhile, other people will require you to spend $20 for a subscription. And on top of that, you have to buy individual pieces of content. That is smart, but it is scummy. It's like signing up for Netflix and paying for each movie that you want to watch. So you're paying for the monthly $20 Netflix thing, and you have to pay another $30 for each movie that you want to see. If you see that going on, they have chatters. You know what I mean? They need people to be able to deliver what you're looking for at a reasonable amount of time. Those are going to be the fake chatter thingies that you got to watch out for. They're going to be scamming you, and you won't be talking to the actual person. And that's false advertisement. I think OnlyFans is going through like a lawsuit or something, or maybe not. That's not what you're paying for.
Oh, because of people being curious about why they're getting hated on so much if they're cis women, and then finding out. The reason why I haven't showed any names in all of this video is I don't want to fucking promote these people. Also, it's an OFDM and I don't want the YouTube gods to smite me. The reason I'm showing it anyway is I wasn't going to make this video. I actually was kind of mixed about the whole thing until I talked to them and realized they were a bit of a dick. That there is no good faith in any of this. That they are just rage baiting. It seems a little gross to me. You know what's grosser? $10 per picture? Are you joking? I want to see some real
I won't say anything.
teen, bro. I want to see some real
I won't say anything.
pee-pee, dude. I don't want to see a toy, but there's more to it. Still, this is a controversial subject, and I want to clarify a few things. Cisgender and transgender are just descriptors, in the exact same way that short and tall are. Gender's something we kind of just all made up over time as a society. Yeah, there are biological components to it, but how we currently define man and woman are based on gender. So, a tall man's a man.
Whoa, did Faye just describe what a woman is? Now we're talking. Picture this. You have your own basket, and you can pick what you want in your basket. There's like different characteristics that you can fill your basket with. And you can only fit like 10 things into your basket. Just because you don't have a uterus doesn't make you a woman. Because there's plenty of women that have to get that shit removed, or there's like defects or something going on. Just because you don't have a uterus doesn't mean you're not a woman and shit. You have a basket of characteristics, and you fill up that basket. As you fill it up more, you become more of a woman. People can tell that it's a woman. Does that make sense? I think that's what Finn is about to say. It's not just like, oh, penis, vagina. It's literally not that. Because there's a lot of like birth defects and complications and things that don't make it that simple. People are like, oh, women can get pregnant and a man can't. Some women just can't get pregnant. And that's surprisingly like really common. So whenever people say that, it's like, that's cringe and that's wrong. Like, that's not a good defining thing to be like, woman means they can get pregnant. What if you can't get pregnant? Then what? Then it's like, that's weird. What's my definition? You have a basket and you can fill it up with characteristics. And you have another basket and you can fill that one up with characteristics. So you have a male basket and a female basket. And then you can fill that up, and whatever basket is heavier, whatever one you lean on is probably going to be the basket that, or gender, that you are. It's all about the characteristics. You might not be every single female characteristic, but you have enough female characteristics where people can be like, oh, your basket is full of female characteristics. Girl, that's basically it. You might not have every single one. You're not going to. It's impossible to have every single characteristic.
A trans man's a man.
A short man is not a man.
But pop off, king, I guess. But the bit that we didn't make up was the first bit. You can't identify as tall. You can't identify as tall when you're only 5'10", because in the same way that the sky is blue, you are short. You are short because I can measure your height and see that you're under the average. And then I get to call you short. Short, tiny, tiny man. But you can't scientifically test for gender. It's in your brain. It's kind of like your opinions or your personality.
Yeah, no one's gonna check your chromosomes because people are gonna be like, oh, you're born with XY or XX. It's like, have you ever seen your own chromosomes? Probably not. Very likely, you've never seen your own chromosomes. When you go out to the grocery store, you're not gonna be like sir or ma'am based off their chromosomes because you can't see them. You're not gonna know what their chromosomes are. You're gonna be able to look at their their characteristics of their person. Long hair, feminine makeup, and everything. You're gonna be like, oh, girl. Boobs, probably a girl. Showing off cleavage and everything, probably a girl. You're gonna be looking at context clues. You're not gonna be looking at chromosomes.
It would still be really weird if a trans man or woman tried convincing everyone that they were cis, not out of any need for safety, but to make money. It's odd. It's weird. TERFs do not agree, though. I'm not really a political channel, so if you're not familiar with the term, it stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. Basically feminists that don't agree that trans women are women and that they're men in disguise and they're trying to hurt them. So while they may believe that trans women are faking being real women for some sort of gain, they're fine with it for the other way around, for genuine monetary gain. Kiana, a mutual of mine on Twitter, tweeted about this about a week ago and said, seeing cis girls shoving in their pants and pretending to be trans for money makes me so annoyed. My gender isn't your costume.
So that's a weird comment. My gender is not your costume. I agree with that if someone is acting malicious. On the other hand, I think we should celebrate other people's cultures. Like if you like dreads and you want dreads, go for it. Maybe you'll look stupid with dreads. You can wear dreads even if you're not black. Maybe you'll look stupid. I don't care. As long as you don't make it into a costume and be offensive and stupid about it, you know? If you want to learn how to cook another culture's food, go for it. If you want to pretend to have a wiener in your pants, go for it. I don't care. But the line is when you start making fun of it and being like, look how stupid I look, then it's like, stop it. That's where I draw the line. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't it make drag offensive with that logic? With my logic? No, because they're celebrating it. They're like, look how artsy this is. And they like it, and they're doing it over and over. If you're doing it like for art and stuff, that's cool. That's fine. Because you're appreciating it. If you want to indulge in a different culture, go for it. As long as you're not making fun of it. As long as you're not acting the fool while trying to appear as the thing that you hate. You can do it respectfully. And then it's all good. It's okay. If you want to party in it, go for it. It's all fine. It's just the line is when you start making fun of it, you're doing it so you can make fun of it while making fun of it.
In case you didn't get the joke, my gender isn't your costume is a thing that people have been saying to trans women for a while. I'm going to show you the quote retweet, but that joke went right over the head. Man who wears woman as a costume upset that women are wearing his gender as a costume. Man sees not the irony. Yeah, they did. That was why they said that at the end. That's actually really funny because that was actually the joke. That's crazy. That was the joke in the entire time. That's wild. Crazy. That would be a good TikTok sound. Can you make that sound good? Thanks. Crazy.
That was crazy once.
Obviously, there's bullshit from both sides. The person here is just wishing violence on them, which is just not right, no matter what someone really does there. It's Twitter. It ain't that deep. TERF accounts like this...
I love drag. I have a few queens. Yeah, go for it, because they're indulging in it. They like it, and it's like an art thing. That's cool. It's not for me, and I'm glad we have the right to do it. It's none of my business, and I'm going to stay out of it. It's not for me. I think it's cool. As long as you're not, like, dressing up as a woman and doing, like, negative things like, oh, I'm bad at driving, I should be in the kitchen, like stuff like that. And it's like, shut the fuck up. But if you're just like, oh, a fashion show, we're gonna be really cool, we're gonna be goofy, we're gonna tell jokes, it's entertainment, awesome. Not for me, but you're not being offensive. You're just being goofy and artsy. You really like it and you're going for it. That's cool.
I swear to God, I was getting the same like woman face. I get the woman face comment now, which is hilarious. All I'm hearing is the fact that you think I passed.
Finn is not doing woman face. Because with blackface, they'll have a character in the most negative way while doing negative things. Like in blackface, it would have like shows where they would like act stupid and do really stupid things to show like, oh, this group of people are dumb and stupid. Finn isn't doing that. Finn is just being Finn while looking like that. That's fine.
But there was one tweet that genuinely stuck out to me. On a reply to one of these accounts' posts, someone said, how come you haven't deleted this account yet? Did you spend too much on botting likes and followers? This person responded, why should she delete it? Biotrans... Huh. Why should she delete it? Biotrans are valid and should be embraced and accepted.
What does that mean?
Biotrans women are real women and should be protected.
What does biotrans mean? I don't see anything on Google. The first link just says glossary of transgender terms, but biotrans is not on there. 2 years ago, somebody used it on Reddit on male to female. There's a small group of Twitter users getting traction claiming to be biotrans. Biological trans women. Biological trans women? Okay.
And then they link this on the gender wiki, which also happens to have the best sexuality that exists, finsexual, which I still find hilarious to this day. I pulled this up so you know I'm not lying. It means
biotrans just means that people are saying that you're biologically trans, but why does that need to be said when trans already exists? That's why it's like, the green. You don't have to include green twice. If that makes sense. That's why it's confusing, I think. Or no, that doesn't make sense. That's just a stupid. That's stupid. Finsexual, a term for someone who is exclusively attracted to those in nature. Hence the term fin. What? Whenever anybody says like something isn't natural or it ain't nothing that we do anymore is considered like 100% natural. Like even our food is GMO. Like we got the best plants and we kept breeding the best plants until we got exactly what we wanted. Like corn was like this little thing and then we bred it so it can be like really nice corn. You know what I mean? Some people are like, oh, it's not natural. Everything in our life has been modified for us. There's no such thing as like natural because that term doesn't make sense. Over time, the stuff with the better genes will get passed down, and that's already gonna cause like its own modification. Does that make sense? You can't just have one thing and have it be one thing for the entirety of time, because throughout time, that one thing will evolve and become something else, or things will change and that one thing will be another thing as time changes. You can't have something that's like 100% natural. Like, oh, this comes from nature and is like, does that make sense? Always think about how easy it is for your body to transition by just injecting one hormone to your body. Because you have the DNA in you. You just gotta unlock the DLC. Pay $20, you get the DLC.
Someone who is exclusively attracted to those who are feminine in nature. So it doesn't matter about gender. It's just that's what you be if you like feminine motherfuckers, regardless of their gender. That's fucking me, dude. That's still the greatest coincidence in my entire life, by the way. They also show as an identity AFAB transfem, which has a flag. AFAB trans.
Assigned female at birth, transgender feminine person. So it'll be a cis woman, a woman probably born with a vagina, cis woman. Imagine your mom pretending that she's a trans woman. Why? Why? So what do you do in that transition? Whoa, like what are you missing out on? Like
Transfem refers to someone who was assigned female at birth, AFAB, and identifies as a transgender woman or transfeminine. Reasons for this could range from feeling like a girl or a woman in a trans way.
So this is actually really common. Extra Emily, I bet you if I dig really hard I can find the clip, but it's gonna take too long. Extra Emily was like, I think I was a man, like a boy in the womb, and then last minute she turned into a girl. And I think a lot of women don't feel feminine all the time, or did it? It's because of all the fucking beauty standards and all that. People are like, oh, I think I was a boy in the womb and then something changed and then I was a girl all of a sudden, but like I still think that maybe I could have been a boy or something. That happens so often. And I think that's just because of the beauty standards. And then sometimes you don't feel good, and then sometimes you don't look good, and that's fine. And that you're like, oh, maybe at birth I was a boy, and all of a sudden I became a girl, and that explains like why I'm not feeling good or something. That is so common. That is extra common. And I've dated so many people that are like that. A lot of the non-binary cis women that go to non-binary feel that way. They're like, oh, I don't really fit into the woman category because like I'm not as feminine, I'm not as girly, I don't do all of that. And it's like, yeah, but you're still yourself. You don't have to invent another gender. It's just that the expectation of like the beauty standards are over here and you're doing your own thing. And that's awesome. That's perfectly fine. It's okay that you don't got like perfect boob job, you got makeup done all the time, you have chiseled jaw, that's fine. But then people are like, oh, maybe trans women vibes. I'm like, no! The thing that makes you special is all your unique traits. That's what makes you super cool and really awesome, being unique. And everybody loves that. That's awesome. Embrace that. Embrace your unique side. Anything that's different, that's awesome. That's cool. That's what separates you from everybody else, and you gotta embrace those.
Feeling related to trans womanhood or trans femininity, or identifying as a girl bee, that sounds like a Pokemon, or with other non-binary genders. Wait, is that a good point? Is this just a new type of gender? Why do I get to decide which gender identity?
No, because Finn doesn't understand, because from the cis woman perspective, sometimes you don't feel very feminine, and then you're gonna be like, oh, maybe I'm non-binary, and it's like, maybe you are, but at the same time, please consider that it's a normal feeling that you're feeling, and it's not a third gender, probably. Finn has never experienced that, probably. But that's okay. That's okay. I've been with lots of women. I've gone through this phase so many times where they're like, oh, maybe I'm trans. I'm like, no. You're different, and that's awesome. Just be yourself. And if you really feel that way, we can talk about it. But trust me on that. Trust me.
And honestly, this isn't the worst line of reasoning. If it's actually how they feel, then of course, wear a packer. Express your gender identity however you want. And screw everyone that says anything differently. Well, this is why I made this video. I don't know. I can't verify how
Exactly. Mind your own fucking business at the end of the day. If somebody wants to dress up as a furry, they have their right and ability or whatever to dress up as a furry. It's none of my business. And for some reason, with politics now, Republicans want the government all up in their ass. They want the government to like dictate what medical things they're allowed to do. But it's like, it's not up to it shouldn't be up to the government. It's up to like the person and the doctor to make sure they're doing the right treatment or doing the right thing. We don't want government involved. We don't want like the neighbor involved. It's none of our business, whatever you're freaking doing. Whatever you want to do it, love it, have it. None of our business if we don't like it. It's awesome. It's great. We live in America. If you don't like me playing Call of Duty 24/7, awesome. I don't care. I'm going to continue playing Call of Duty because it's none of your business.
She might go through a lot of shit over how she identifies and chooses to express it. This could all be completely legitimate, and we're just being assholes trying to police her life. Oh, wait, no! Oh my god, how could I forget she just outright admitted to rage baiting for money in my DMs? Okay, well, maybe some of the other girls are genuine. It's technically possible. I don't get it, but there's plenty of stuff I don't understand. Most things, actually. Personally, I used to be right-wing, but even if you go back to like the start of when
I'm gonna break it to you guys, all right? Lots of trans women and femboys used to be very heavily right-wing because being a Republican, being right-wing meant like, fuck the government, like, get out of my business. I want the least amount of government intervention as possible. For now, for some reason, we have the most amount of government intervention because, like, as a femboy, you just want to live your own life. It's like, if I want to dress the way I want to dress, it's none of your business. I'm going to continue doing my own thing, you know? It's so weird how, like, all of this has turned. But I think that's where Finn is getting at.
Streaming while I'm doing cross-dressing streams. I'm 20 years old at that time. And even then, I say stuff that I don't believe.
Yeah, it's flipped now. The most hardcore conservative guy from back in the day, like your grandfather, is now progressive. Because your grandfather doesn't want the government to take his fucking taxes. Your grandfather doesn't want the government to be involved in like what guns he can own. He wants the government out of it. The least amount of government possible. And then now it's the opposite. People want the most amount. Like with abortion, people are like, the government should be able to say whether or not you're allowed to have this medical treatment. It's up to the government now. It's like, what? Now that's considered to like be progressive, be like, mind your own business. It's so weird.
Today, that it was just a bad opinion. And if I'm going to be on the wrong side of history because I don't understand something, I want to get better. But okay, I've only seen a few people identify as biotrans because yes, that's actually a real term, but the only people I've ever seen doing it are like political people doing a parody of gender politics, stretching the concept of gender self-identification as far as it can go as a concept. Is it all just trolls? Yeah, maybe yeah. Okay, but hey, if there's someone out there that really wants to be an AFAB trans woman, who cares? The worst you can do is annoy a few people, and I do that all the time anyway. But please, if you're gonna do that for all that's good in the world, don't lie to people on the internet and then send them a $30 pay-per-view of a—
Alright, Finn. I'm not gonna be the person. But we know people that have paid subscriptions on top of that pay-per-view. We know who you are. Watch your back.
No, are you kidding me? The cutest villains. I gotta put that joke in the video at some point. No one's gonna comment about it.
Yeah, mind your own business at the end of the day. Who cares what anybody does? As long as you're not harming someone, but in addition to that, like, be safe about it. Don't be an idiot. GG.